Hello everyone, we are back with another video on the topic power. This is a very important topic for the BA first year second semester students. This topic comes for an 18 marks question and it is the first topic of unit 1. In this video, we shall see the different types, the kinds, the sources, the forms and the characteristics of power. I shall use a mix of language in this video to make the concepts more clearer. So the first topic we see here is what is power. Power is your capacity to impose your will on others. इसका मतलब क्या है कि अगर आप किसी सामने वाले इंसान को अपनी इच्छा शक्ति अनुसार काम करने के लिए मना लें, जैसे कि कोई भी एक इंसान ले लेते हैं हम, फॉर एग्जाम्पल पार्टी बी. You force the party B to do a certain work according to your desire. आप उन पर अपनी इच्छा थोप पा रहे हैं, इम्पोज कर पा रहे हैं, तो ही आप पावरफुल हैं, तो ही आप पावर एक्सरसाइज कर रहे हैं. Now next we see that here are two definitions included for the power. You may change the definitions as per your convenience, but you must include at least two definitions in your 18 marks answer so that you can score better and you have an edge over the other students who have not included these definitions. So now we come to the characteristics of power. First, it is to impose will. So power is the capacity to impose will. बड़ी सिंपल सी बात है. पावर वो चीज़ है जिसके द्वारा आप अपनी विल किसी और पर इम्पोज करते हो. आप उसको ये मानने के लिए मजबूर करते हो that you have to act according to my will. Second, power goes with the situation and office. So what is it? That if you hold office, only then you have power. If you are in a particular situation and office, only then you have power. बहुत सिंपल सी बात है. इसको हम इस एग्जाम्पल से लेते हैं. जैसे एक हाई कोर्ट का जज है, जब तक वो ऑफिस में है तब तक ही वो डायरेक्शंस, रिट्स, ऑर्डर्स किसी भी तरीके के पास कर सकते हैं. वंस ही रिटायर्स, ही कैन नॉट एक्ट इन दैट कैपेसिटी. थर्ड, नो कंसेंट. सामने वाले का कंसेंट है या नहीं है ये बात मैटर नहीं करती है. मैटर ये करती है कि क्या आप उसको कोई पर्टिकुलर काम करने के लिए मजबूर कर पाए हो, क्या आप उस पर अपनी विल जता पाए हो. दैट इज़ योर पावर. कंसेंट ऑफ द person in front of you or the person on whom you want to impose your power does not matter. Fourth, it is a fluctuating aspect. It fluctuates with time and situation. So what is it? That with the time and the situation your power fluctuates. तो इसको अब हम कैसे समझेंगे? जैसे प्राइम मिनिस्टर्स होते हैं, वो ऑफिस में आते हैं और जाते हैं, पर कोई भी इंसान किसी भी तरीके से कोई भी पावर तभी यूज़ कर पाएगा अगर उसकी पर्सनल क्वालिटीज़ ये अलाउ करती हैं. प्राइम मिनिस्टर का ऑफिस सेम है, पर यहाँ पे टाइम और सिचुएशन क्या है? कोई और अलग प्राइम मिनिस्टर आया. सिचुएशन क्या है? उसकी अपनी पर्सनल क्वालिटीज़, पर्सनल कैपेसिटीज़. Now we come to the next characteristic of power, that is the purpose. So power should be used for a specific purpose. It could either be a private welfare purpose or a public welfare purpose, but there should be a purpose. If it is used without any purpose, then it becomes meaningless. Next, opposite interests are a must. Definitely, if you are using power, it means that the person on whom you are using your power does not want to do a thing but does it out of the fear of punishment. So here you need to take down the keywords fear of punishment. Let us take the examples of two parties, A and B. A imposes the power on B because if B does not do a thing. Now what is B not doing? B is not paying taxes supposedly. So B will pay taxes only if there is some kind of penalty, there is some kind of punishment to it. Next, Power is basically based upon sanctions, or it is derived from the sanctions. What does sanction means? It is the power to reward or to give punishment. So this is basically the power used by the police, the courts, the jails. It is not the power of punishment alone, it is also the power to award the good deeds of the people. Next we see power depends upon use. So how it is depending upon use is that if you act according to your own wishes in your own capacity, only then you are powerful. For example, the President of India is not powerful because the powers that are in his office or that are enshrined in office are not exercised by him. These are exercised by the Council of Ministers or on the advice of Council of Ministers only.
Now we come to the kinds of powers. There are different powers such as constitutional, which implies that the rules of any organizations are used to exercise the power. Persuasive, when you impose your will on others and persuade them or convince them to do certain kind of work. Unconstitutional, it is the power in which the goals are not mentioned or there is no organizational constitution, but you still exercise your power. Impedimental, when one wants to get some work done but you are not willing to do that work, so the other person who wants to exercise the power imposes certain kinds of obstacles or hindrances in your way so that you surrender in front of them and exercise according to their wills. Traditional, when you want to not to do certain things but you have to do certain things due to the ages long traditions or the ages long customs that are in the going scenario, so you have to comply by them. Legitimate, when people have to do something against their wishes for their own well-being, like we have to get vaccinated even if we don't feel like getting vaccinated. Now we shall see the sources of law. There are various sources of law, but the three major sources are the people, the constitution, and the parliamentary laws. First, the people. In the present day democratic societies, people are the supreme source of power. It is through the people that the government gets its power. Next, the constitution. It is the supreme law of any country. In this, the composition, the power of different organs, the powers of different government offices are enshrined. So it is the major source of power after people. Next comes the parliamentary laws. So the parliamentary laws are the laws through which the government gets the work of their government officials done. Any violations to these laws attracts punishment. People or the general masses also need to obey these laws to make the country or the state a better place to live. Now we see the next sources or the basis of power. First is organization. If the individual is part of any organization, then it is quite obvious that we are able to impose our will or desire on others. So supposedly, if there's any teacher who's working in a school, she can obviously impose her will on other teachers or on other teachers of a particular department if she is the HOD, that's the head of the department. So this is the organizational basis of power. Next is belief, customs, or traditions. As I've already told you that when you have to do a certain thing due to the age-long customs or the traditions, that is the power due to the beliefs or the customs. Then comes rules. So a set of rules may be fair, unfair, correct, incorrect, but you have to follow them undoubtedly. This is the basis of power, that where the rules are followed. Now for this we can take the example that we don't like to wear the uniform in schools, but we still have to do so. Charisma, so it is a person's personality that can sometimes becomes the source of power. So why it becomes the source of the power is because due to our personality we tend to follow a certain kind of power that seems justifiable to us. Mass media imposes on us a thinking power, thinking capacity. So these are imposition of powers in the thinking capacity because they influence our ideas and opinions. Next, it is a situation. Sometimes in the abnormal circumstances, a person might get some situational power. That is the power of situation.
Now we shall study the different forms of power. These are ideological, political, economic, and gender based. Now we first see the ideological power. For understanding ideological power, we need to understand first the meaning of ideology. What is ideology? The ideas or beliefs that I am consistent and persistent about. What is ideological power now? Ideological power is the power where I impose my will on the basis of these ideologies. The main characteristics of ideological powers are that there is no coercion on this. You yourself accept my power, and it is the only power that is lasting or permanent in nature. For example, we still associate Hitler with Germany. It is political power. It is the form of power in which the individual tries to impose one's will on the other using the machineries of the state or certain kinds of political organizations. Next is economic power. What is economic power? It is the power of money. So, it is the power in which you see the factors such as machineries, the labor, the land. Whoever accumulates more of them is having more economic or money power. Next is gender based power. So, gender based power is simple that I am a man, so you should obey me. That is the gender based power. We see these kinds of power basically in the patriarchal society, or you can even say in the rural areas where patriarchy is exercised to much extent than the matriarchy. Finally, we come to the conclusion we should always keep in mind that power is not the end of politics, but it is a means. And because the aim of politics is the solution of problems, that is why power is used to achieve this goal. Thank you for watching my video. Please like, share, and subscribe.